Magandang hapon po sa ating lahat.
Research has been part and at the forefront of BSU's knowledge generation. As one of the fourfold functions of Benguet State University, research is not young in terms of the community of practice. It has and will always be parallel to BSU's long history and future directions, more so with the communities we served. Research has become an amphitheater for faculty members, pumalakpak ang mga faculty members na nandito, faculty researchers, ang mga research and extension staff, pumalakpak, ang mga students noon, junior researchers na ngayon. It has an amphitheater for R&E staff and faculty members to develop the sense of critical mind and question things of the reach. Researchers are then knowledge generators. In BSU, it becomes a culture to research areas that matter, not to mention the outputs and impacts of these research results to the communities. Magandang hapon po ulit sa ating lahat and welcome to the closing program of the 2022 Benguet State University Annual In-House Review of Research, Development, and Extension. Masigabong palakpakan mga kapatid. Ayan, nasa script. Kamusta po ang lahat after 2 days of evaluating the ongoing at ngayon po yung ating completed research? Nakahinga na po na maluwag-luwag ang mga presenters? Ay, parang hindi pa rin po. Oo, huminga na po, okay po. Kamusta rin po ang ating mga evaluators? Sumakit po ba ang ating mga ulo? Hindi naman po. Mukhang ayaw po mag-respond. O si Ma'am Magdalena, hindi daw. Oo, ayan. So kapag pahinga na rin. So tapos na po. We forwarded our scores and perhaps the Secretariat have already consolidated and computed. So mag-enjoy na lang po tayo ngayong hapon. So surely after this event, we will have more desire to research, to write more, to contribute more, to learn more, and to publish more. So without further ado, may I call on the Director for the Institute of Social Research and Development, Dr. G. Banes, for the synthesis of the two-day activity. Ma'am Gigi?
So for the 2022 BSU Annual In-House Review, that was October 5 and 6, 2022, this was attended by 223 participants from the different institutes, centers, and colleges in the university. So 223 based on the official attendance. Total number of papers evaluated, completed researches, 44, 24 outside funded. The funding agency, to name a few, BAIHR and Picard, and 20 BSU funded. Ongoing researches that was subject for table evaluation, 16 outside funded and 54 BSU funded. Let me walk you through on the research topics that was presented in each categories. For the social non-ANR, we have translanguaging in the analysis of narrative techniques, needs assessment of cooperatives, indigenous community strategies in response to pandemic. For development, we have program management, networking, and capacity building, impact evaluation of technology and farming materials. For social ANR, appraising capabilities and resources of Benguet LGU, performance assessment of Picard technology transfer modalities, adoption and impact of drip and sprinkle irrigation, crop insurance as a strategy to climate change adaptation of corn farmers, cost-benefit analysis of water dryer, climate resilient agriculture practices and assessment. Climate risk vulnerability, utilization of sayote, development of full-fatted soybean-based products, upscaling use umbrella cloth, development of osmo-dried, ready-to-eat tomatoes. I hope Sir Leslie was able to share their products. Okay. Dried tomatoes, then low sugar tomato lemon marmalade, and dried carrot. Development of rice variety, purple yam quality planting material, rediscovery of underutilized food legumes, physico-chemical properties, quality of roasted Arabica coffee, yield performance of Punkan mandarin, listing of birds in Santo Tomas Forest. Growth and performance of rabbit, coconut as biostimulant, multiplication technique of ginger and turmeric, rates of compost for efficient greenhouse organic vegetables. For education, we have pre-research writing for pre-service teachers, let performance, instructor knowledge in technology integration, teaching of least mastered chemistry concepts, predictive framework for the 3-parameter logistic model, tracer study of language education program, students' difficulties in mathematics, information literacy, and fake news identification, then CTE graduates performance in the workplace. So yun yung mga topics that was presented by our presenters. With the common comments and suggestion of evaluators, other comments will be given by the evaluators later. So one of their striking comment is emphasize on the so what of the research findings. Okay? And the policy alternatives that the LGU will consider. So beyond research, yung mga policy brief, what new knowledge the research generated that should be emphasized in our studies. Careful of the overgeneralization of findings. Detailed explanation of the ethical consideration, like the process of consent seeking, yung informed consent, validation of data, then non-disclosure forms to be signed by the participants and the respondents. Okay, then most of the evaluators also mentioned ethical review board in all the researches of BSU presented. Theory building, conceptual framework of the study should be defined. Show voices of the respondents. Research participants identify the KIs or the key informant. Do not generalize. The respondent said it's better to be consistent on the identity also. K1, K2, then give profiles. Then re-impact assessment, interview the beneficiaries of the project. Use baseline data to confirm or to validate the impact because it will affect the result of the study if you interview the wrong participants. Highlight benefits transpired from partnership with other organizations. Selection of respondents, observe the inclusion and exclusion criteria. In-depth discussion or analysis of results, use appropriate research methodologies, tools, and analysis, then observe use of gender-sensitive language. That's all, and thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am Gigi. Ayan. So, ilan nga po ulit yung participating delegations? Ayan, 223. Kailangan daw precise. Narinig yun si Ma'am Gigi. Okay. So, without further ado, mga kapatid, panoorin po muna natin yung inihandang video clip ni Noel para sa ating lahat. Ana Secretariat para sa ating lahat. Okay. Maraming salamat sa pagpapakita ng na makumunot ang noo, mga ganyan. And very enriching, perhaps, yung ating experience. Very enlightening din siya para sa mga tagapakinig, sa mga nag-present, and affirming yung efforts natin in doing the research, no? So now let's proceed to the comments and impression of our esteemed evaluators. Simulan po natin sa SNT AANR. May I call on Sir Ruel Soralta, the Scientist 2 of the Philippine Rice Research Institute, for the impressions or comments.
Wala akong kinalaman dito sa Meron akong konting kodigo. Anyway, magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. Good afternoon. Hindi pa rin pa ba kayo nakahinga? Kami hindi pa. Si Dr. Dante, marami pa kaming marami pa kaming assignments. Anyway, so unang-una, I would like to thank the BSU, kasama yung management and staff ng BSU. Hindi na natin isa-isayin Todos Los Santos na para lahat. Maraming salamat po. Ganun lang pagka gusto mo i-address ang lahat. So maraming salamat po for inviting us. Truly, sabi nga ni Sir, very enriching yung mga ganitong activities. So this is my end time. Pangilan naman natin to, Sir. Buti naman di pa kayo nagsasawa sa amin. Anyway, itong agency in-house review kasi, this is a very important component. Actually, not just sa mga SUCs, but also sa mga research agencies. Very, very important ito. Hindi lang para sa mga career natin, di ba? Meron tayong sinasabing publish or, parang vegetable lang, perishable. Anyway, so yung ganon, not just for that. Of course, tinitingnan natin yung mga career natin, but also to serve the community, to serve the public. So hindi lang ibig sabihin na gumagawa tayo ng research for the sake of our career, but for the people. Yun po yung very important dyan. So as regards to my yung impressions ko sa in-house review na to, I think very wide naman ang scope. I am speaking on the context of yung sensya na kayo na highlight yung aming session, yung AANR. So, in the context of AANR. So, nakikita natin, karamihan naman sa mga studies ay related sa climate change resiliency. So, yan, napakalaking issue niyan kahit saan siya pumunta. Gasgas na nga si climate change eh. Pero, napakalaking concern nito. Yung effect ng climate change. So that's why we are doing researches to address or to make our crops, to make our animals, to make our yung ating mga aquatic resources more climate change resilient. So nakikita po natin yan, nandyan yan sa mga I'm happy to see na nandyan yan, na address natin somehow yung climate change resiliency. Issue din ng sustainability. So marami tayong mga research which are addressing sustainability. So hindi lang yung focus natin to make our crops more climate resilient, but also we are doing researches to improve the sustainability. So kasama na dyan yung conservation. And then I've been emphasizing also during our yung aming session kanina, generating technology for farmers will address not just the income. Hindi lang naman income Kaya nga ando na rin sustainability plus yung nutrition, security. Kasi after all, yung farmers natin, saan naman manggagaling yung kanilang kinakain, galing lang more likely ay galing ito sa kanilang produce. So, isang issue po na dinidil natin pinopromote natin yung farm diversification. Okay? So, we diversify the crops, we diversify yung animals, even the fish components, dinadiversify natin ito, if possible, sa isang farm para ma-increase ang income and ma-improve din yung, maging diverse din yung nutrition. And then this is also related to climate change resiliency. Okay? Pero mo, may manok ka dun sa farm mo, binagyo ka, natumba yung ano mo, natumba yung vegetables mo, natumba yung rice mo, ay yung manok nakatungtong dun sa bubungan. May makakain ka pa rin. O, di ba? So, yun po. And it boils down, yung mga technologies natin to make our farmers more responsible. Kaya pumapasok dito yung word na responsible farming. So, nagpo-produce yung farmers to provide food para sa public, para sa atin, para din magkaroon sila ng income, and at the same time, ay very sustainable yung technology nila. Hindi siya nakaka-affect sa hindi siya nakaka-aggravate doon sa yung ating climate. And then in terms of yung may mga konti-konting I think mga concerns or areas na kailangan din i-deal ng BSU in terms of their research development and extension. So ito yung digital agriculture. So kailangan nating unti-unti nating ma-integrate ito. So very very wide ang scope ng digital agriculture. So for example, yung creating a technology or information pathway to make farmers ma-access nila yung information real time. For example, yung weather conditions or even yung for example yung suitability map. For example, sa Cordillera, yung suitability map in terms of yung soil fertility, kung ano ba yung crops na maganda dyan, ano ba yung mga kailangan na management practices para ma-improve yung kanilang production. And then, dito to nanggagaling sa ating mga R&Ds. So, kailangan natin itong i-integrate. And then also, yung power of biotechnology. So, ipapasok ko na rin ito kasi marami tayo, may mga breeding tayo, activities Marami tayong mga activities on conservation ng ating mga germplasms. So, kailangan natin itong makuha yung kanilang DNA fingerprint para po for IP purposes. So, para din maprotektahan natin yung ating mga germplasms, especially kung yan ay endemic dito sa CAR. So, sir, na-solve na ba natin yung native versus endemic? Hindi pa But anyway, so yun yung process ng And at the same time, the power of biotechnology to aid doon sa breeding. Kasi 'di ba, ini-improve natin yung ating crops not just through conventional breeding but using yung power ng biotechnology para ma-hasten natin yung ating product. For example, varieties, yung mga ganon. And speaking about nutrition, napag-usapan kasi kanina, ano ba yung pinresent kanina mga legumes? So makarelate tayo sa biotechnology dito. Di ba yung mga legumes, ang issue kanina yung uric acid. So we can we can breed or we can identify germplasm na medyo mababa. Yung yung component sa legumes na nagko-cause doon sa mga gout o yung mga nanginginig ang tuhod diyan. Kaway-kaway. So, yan, magagamit natin yung biotechnology. And even yung isa, ano pa ba nakita? Lettuce. Alam nyo ba yung lettuce ay nagko-contribute ito to some extent sa kidney problem? Kasi mataas yung potassium concentration nito. So, pwede nating i-deal ito to identify some management practices or even yung mga varieties na medyo mababa yung potassium concentration. So, para maging very healthy yung And then, itong review na to, hindi lang ito ay yung mga evaluators kami ay nagko-comment lang. Malaking learning experience sa amin ito. Actually, marami kaming natutunan. In fact, ako, pagbalik ko sa PhilRice, kasi I'm handling the Department of Agriculture Crops Biotechnology Center, so marami ako mga ideas na dala-dala pag-uwi in order to kung ano yung pwede namin ma-contribute pagdating sa biotechnology. And then pumapasok yung problem na laging na-highlight kanina Isa na yung problems on pandemic, di ba? Naapektuhan talaga yung ating naapektuhan talaga yung pag-conduct ng experiment because of the pandemic. Pero meron pang isa. Alam nyo na ba yon? Laging na to, funding, MIC. Oo. Laging na-issue to. But I hope this is actually, andito naman yung ating mga managers na hopefully this can be addressed actually itong ano. Kasi nakikita naman natin na very important yung ating mga ginagawa. And I observe na actually mostly or if not all, yung ating mga researchers are very passionate enough doon sa kanilang mga research. With that, palakpakan po natin ang ating mga sarili. Pero although, meron pa rin konting mga improvement. So, kasama po yan. Di ba? Pag nag-ano tayo ng in-house review, doon nakikita natin yung mga comments. Doon sa mga presentations, may mga natutunan tayo. Ang isa ko lang nakita ay, of course, this is a continuous process naman ng improvement ito, yung quality of reports. So, kailangan pa nating i-level up. The data is there. Ang data is quality. Kaya sabi ko nga, very passionate yung mga researchers eh. Ang kailangan lang natin is how to manage this data, how to extrapolate this data in such a way na maipakita natin yung results, yung impact. And then, meron pa tayong mga konting issues doon sa statistical analysis. So, kailangan natin itong pag-ibayuhin pa. But through more training siguro, and then even yung paper writing. Alam nyo, doon even sa progress report, yung mga ganito, try natin na isulat siya in such a way na para siyang scientific paper na. Kasi every time, nagagawa tayo, dudugtungan lang natin yun di ba? Pag continuous yung project. Pag natapos yung project, medyo magaan-gaan na lang pag nagsulat ka ng scientific paper. Kasi nandun na Especially yung review of literature, so makukuha mo na yan doon when you write the introduction of an article na to be published in a scientific journal. So, ito naman, madali lang ito. Ang importante lang, meron kayong magandang data. Okay? Yun naman, hindi consolation yan. Yun yung pinaka-importante. Kasi, meron ngang kwento na asan ka, merong papel, merong scientific article na napakaganda na pagkasulat. Pero pangit ang data. Meron namang paper na hindi kagandahan yung pagkasulat, pero ang ganda ng data. Doon ako sa later. Kasi mas madaling i-revise yun para ma-improve yung content. Pero yung pangit ang data, wala ka na talaga magawa, kundi mag-recanda ka. So, yun ang ibig sabihin na ito naman ay continuous process. At least yung data natin ay magaganda. Okay, so I think yun lang po, and I think also yung strengthen pa natin more yung collaborations from outside. Kasi kahit po BSU funded ito, yung dito lang funded ng university, try to make a collaboration doon sa ibang mga agencies. Hindi naman ibig sabihin na pag may collaboration, kailangan mong magbigay ng funds. Kahit yung mga technical collaborations yan, you add other expert doon sa inyong mga studies para makakuha kayo ng mga more ideas to improve in the conduct of the experiment or to improve doon sa pag-extrapolate ng data, even doon sa pag-interpret noong data. So, hindi lang po yung collaboration ay kailangan lang natin mag-collaborate dahil para makuha tayo ng fundings, but even yung technical. So, mahalaga yon. Kahit BSU funded yan, try to communicate with other researchers from outside the university para ma-widen na rin yung ating yung collaboration. Kasi at the moment parang medyo limited pa. Okay? So I think habang hindi pa kayo galit sa akin, sinabi ko, i-park ko na po dito. But overall po, as compared with other state universities and colleges, in terms po doon sa pagkandak ng experiment, yung quality ng data ay relatively better yung BSU, if not comparable doon sa mga ibang mga universities. So yun lang po, magandang hapon and God bless everyone.
Maraming salamat po, Dr. Ruel R. Soralta. Relatively magaganda. Dahil ayaw natin sa Kayo na po nagsabi niyan. Okay. I'd like to reiterate no, yung impacts na binanggit ni Sir Alta with the different human development parameters. Not to mention the research that we're doing is for the people. So, yung dalawang challenge lang, pandemic and dahil dyan, makikollaborate daw po tayo sa maraming mga funding agencies. Again, maraming salamat po, Sir Alta. Now, let's move on to the next panel of evaluator who will be giving his impression. May I call on from the S&T, Fayette, the Food, Innovation, Engineering, and Emerging Technologies, Sir Nathaniel Vincent A. Lubricada, Associate Professor and Executive Director of the Research and Services Office of the University of Cordilleras.
Ako rin, sir, may kodigo. Mas malaki. But again, good afternoon to everyone. First, I would like to express our gratitude for inviting us in this event. Parang sa amin rin is a reflection to be here. Sabi nga ni Sir kanina, it's a learning process. We learn from each other and also experience your practices here at BSU. And we're glad for it. In behalf of my colleagues on this, sa committee namin, si Dr. Jimmy Catanes and si Dr. Telma Palawag. So indeed, yung 114 researches na yan is amazing. Diba? Or normal na sa inyo? Sa akin, amazing eh. So, 114, just imagine those numbers. It's really hard to have those numbers as well. Tas ito, iba, na-observe ko, hindi isang faculty, but medyo marami rin, ano? And I congratulate BSU for that. And something dito siguro, something on the agency in-house, something that I can share, is yung persistence ng isang researcher, isang virtue that is important. Because in this agency in-house, medyo maano yung pride natin pag minsan. Nakita ko yung may mga persons on the position presenting their papers, di ba? Mahirap yan. Nako, vice president or director ako ng research, na-present sila, and it takes a lot of humility to do that and to learn. Siguro yun yung isang message natin that we need to be persistent with ano ba yung goal natin in doing this research. Ano? And ultimately, kailangan ng positive thinking and being open-minded, open-hearted, hindi lang mind, pati heart open. Okay? So, in our committee, we have observed a lot of positive things as well. Magagaling yung presenters natin. Galing yung presentations. Okay. And we can say also yung writing ng research, yung manuscript, nagbuhos talaga sila ng effort on that, and we would like to recognize those efforts of our researchers. We have the following observations, something that we hope that can help as well the institution. Sa institution level, yun nga nasabi rin kanina, yung ethics. The university needs to consider yung having a functional ethics committee. Kasi like for example, yung sa area namin, yung food, may magte-taste test. Paano kung sumakit yung tiyan niya? Di ba? So parang ganun eh. So even though we have may consent and so on, how do you address those problems? And again, it's a requirement for publications right now to have that ethical clearance and ethics clearance. So for the purpose of publication, pag minsan kasi mali yung understanding na yung ethics is just pinapahirapan yung mga researchers. No. It's for your protection and the protection ng mga respondents. Two-way po yan. Protection rin ng institution. So yung proprotektahan natin dyan sa functional. Not necessarily na sabi natin na the better kung before you can accredit, then maganda maging functional muna yung ethics committee. And aside from that, ito, ang raming technologies, products, ang BSU on the presented researches na may big potential to the market. Pero anong kulang? The Knowledge, Technology and Transfer Office. Dapat may KTTO na rin. Because when the technology or product, pwede bang spin-off ko? Parang ganun eh. So is it just limited? Ang laki ng potential ng product for being global, di ba? But pwede bang mag-spin off na we can get an industry partner or an investor? Yun yung maganda ngayon eh. You know what? Universities, foreign universities, nag-gain lang sila because of royalties. Di ba? So royalties, mabibenta yung product, may porsyento ang BSU. May porsyento ang researchers. Everyone happy, di ba? So ang rami, if you look at yung saludo ako dun sa food innovation because ang raming products na pwedeng that can go beyond the institution. So yun po yung KTTO policy, the rights of the researchers and so on. This office will already handle those one. And aside from that, ito po yung isa rin. Disclosure. Why? Kailan ba disclose natin lahat? Yan yung naging discussion namin kanina. Kasi when we ask the researchers, you are disclosing everything, all the steps, pati yung percentages and so on. Is that needed? Kasi napunta sa mind ko yung trade secret eh. If you have an innovation, nabasa yan, di ba? Uy, mayat na ito eh. We will replicate this product and patent to us. Very dangerous. Very dangerous. Kaya siguro you can disclose in a research kung ano ang research-worthy na disclosure. But to disclose everything is already giving away your trade secret. Siyempre, di ba? So it's something like that. Siguro yung disclosure is something that the researchers need to look into. Kasi even though na patent yan, na wala sa yung trade secret, then you have no edge in the market. And next is the policy implications and utilization. So tama yun, Sir, I agree kanina sa comment ni Sir that yung may partnership na sa una pa lang ng project so that pag natapos yung product or may policy, then madali lang to translate these outputs to those policy. And commercialization support for products, so that goes with the KTTO. And strengthening the other campuses. Yun po yung observation rin ng group namin na nalaman namin si Dr. Luis is having her effort as well, going and mentoring. Maganda po yun, yung practice na yun. Yung mentoring other researchers. And nakita ko yun sa culture ng BSU, which is good, ano? Like si Dr. Leslie, ayan, si present, sabi ko sa kanya, let's try others. May mini-mentor ako. Ganun dapat yung culture. And I have observed it in BSU. Maganda yung mentoring culture in terms of research. But yun po, explore rin natin, mabilis ang technology ngayon, and sa mga researches natin, we need to explore also yung IoT, Internet of Things, Big Data Analytics, AI. And aside from that, also the conduct of this multidisciplinary, I don't know, limited lang po ako dun sa area namin, but of course, the conduct of this multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary researches. So, thank you. Again, thank you for this opportunity. And In behalf of our committee, Dr. Jimmy and Dr. Telma, good afternoon to everyone.
Thank you very much, Sir Nathaniel Vincent Lubrica. Ayun po, very value-laden naman po yung binigay sa ating impression ni Sir Lubricano with the attitude of being persistent, open-minded, open heart, and the mentoring culture. Not to mention yung kanyang mga suggestion, yung KTTO and IoT. Baka po, iba po pagkabanggit ko. Okay, let's move on. All right, now may I call on the next evaluator who will be giving his impression from the education category, Sir Mariano D. Marchan Jr., the Education Supervisor 2 of the CHED or the Commission on Higher Education, CAR. Sir Marchan?
First of all, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Felipe Salaing Comilla for inviting me as one of your evaluators in this RDE. I received his invitation 1 month ago. Okay, and because of that letter, I did not already entertain our visitors coming from Manila to evaluate your 3 projects funded by CHED, right? The other day, Dare to Research, and yesterday they were at St. Louis University, and today they are at the University of the Scholars. So I sent my staff to accompany them because I am the focal person of the CHED K-12 SGL and the CCAP, scholarship. First of all, I would like to acknowledge my co-evaluators, Dr. Espique from St. Louis University. Please stand, Dr. Espique. Ba't ka tumawa? My good friend from the University of the Cordilleras, Dr. Kawi, and Dr. Galanco from MPSPC. Teacher kami po. Okay. I would like to share with you the broad definition of research. And this was the definition of good and skates. They said, research is a way of life and a way to progress. And I agree. And I'm sure that if you are coming here or going home, you observe that most of our surroundings are products of research. This is my challenge. See your seatmates if they are products of research. Did you get what I mean? Before, if your problem is your face, it's really a problem. Now, because of research, we have glutathione, we have placenta, we have bello, and we have kallayan. Okay? And I admire Benguet State University because they have proven to be Center for Excellence for Teacher Education. Huwag kang magselos, Dr. Espique. Yes, Center of Excellence din kayo. Okay, Center for Excellence. So with UC. Remember the 3 functions of research. Of the university or college. What are these? Okay, instruction, research, and extension. And I keep telling that you cannot divorce. Wow, I use the word divorce. Instruction and research. Alangan naman napupunta ka sa classroom mo, 1 page ahead ka lang sa estudyante. You have to read. Kailangan advance ka. And I would like to congratulate again, most of you here were interviewed 2 months ago sa office namin because you will be promoted as, wow, Professor 1, Professor 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Kaya nga ako, to be honest with you, no? Nagsisisi ako, ba't ko hindi tinanggap noon nung kinukuha ko ng Pangasinan State University. And when then president dito, inuforan niya ako na mag-transfer na. Sabi ko, matanda na ako. Hindi na ako makapag-research. Okay. So, congratulations to BSU Bugyas kasi meron silang research. Then, bukod, meron silang research. Hindi na lang taga BSU Maine. Kaya palakpakan po natin sila. And I said, no, dapat yung researches nyo, i-publish nyo. Okay? Hindi lang sa library na alikabukan. And I said, yung isa, submit your output sa CHED. No? Ito lang ang magaganda ang na-conduct na research. My only suggestion, yung nakwan namin sa mga board of judges, hagasam judges, no? You have to add more your discussions, give implications to your findings. And remember, it should be dovetailed. What do we mean when we say dovetailed? Okay, yung objectives mo kailangan magtugma-tugma sa tables mo, findings mo, conclusions, and recommendations. Okay? So that is very important. And the title. The Board of Judges a while back suggested, please review your title because we are confused. No? So you have to study your title. Then, you have to add more your rationale. Also, study of related literature. And, if possible, you have to discuss briefly your method and enumerate the procedures that you adopted in collecting the data needed. And also, last, your recommendation should be based on your findings. Ang dami. Ang dami-dami. Dadalawa lang yung objectives niya. Okay? Ang dami. But, no, magaganda yung mga results. That's why I said, you really proved that you are a Center for Excellence in Teacher Education. And I hope that you will maintain that. And I hope that you will also achieve that SUC level 5. Remember, you are applying that, and one of the criteria, research. So without much ado, on behalf of Dr. Speaker, Dr. Galanco, and Dr. Kawe, agbyag ti taga Benguet State University, agbyag ti taga Cordillera, agbyag tayo amin, mabuhay.
Maraming salamat, contestant number. Okay. So, Sir Marchan have reminded us to check no and have a run through of the constructive alignment of the different segments of the paper. Thank you so much, sir, for reminding us that BSU still holds the Center for Excellence in Teacher Education. So, sa mga teachers natin dyan, kaway-kaway, Happy Teachers Day to everyone. Happy Teachers Day po. Okay, now let's move on to the next panel of evaluator who will be giving his impression. May I call on the one of the panel of evaluators for the Social AANR, Sir Jaime A. Manalo, the Supervising Science Research Specialist from the Philippine Rice Research Institute. Sir Jaime.
Thank you. I feel very privileged to be here. I'm doing the same thing for the Bicol University. They have collab with Bulacan State University. And it's really a privilege to be reading all the geek work that's going on around the country. At just briefly po, i-share ko lang yung i-share ko lang kung paano ako nahanap ng mga tao. Hindi lang ako kilala, nahanap lang nila yung gawa ko sa internet. Sa Google. Sabi ko, naku, paano pala kung ano, hindi pala talaga ako maalam, di ba? But I prepared something. I prepared something po, summary of comments. Saan siya na po kayo? Hindi po ako masyado naghanda. Ayan, okay. So, just briefly, I'll be able to do this in less than 10 minutes. You need to have a theoretical framework. Yung lahat po ng nabasa naming paper, wala pong theoretical framework or conceptual framework. But it's understandable. Naintindihan ko lang din ang paggagawa ng conceptual framework at theoretical framework. Nagpi-PhD na ako. Sabi nga nila, if you find it very confusing, that means you are on the right track. But anyway, it makes it easier for you to state your statement of novelty. May study sa Philippines, may isang column dati sa Inquirer, ang problema ng mga researchers ng Pilipinas, mahusay sa data, pero hindi natin masabi kung bakit novel ang ginagawa natin. So, make it easier for you to discuss your findings. Usually, the problem if you don't have a framework is that the discussion section is that it goes to several directions and it's out of focus. Makes it easier for you to say how you are advancing certain discourses. Bring in major theories, question or affirm them. Example, the livelihoods approach, women empowerment, gender and development, climate change theories, capability approach. Ito yung mga gusto natin sanang makita dito sa social ANR. That's what should make the papers distinct from the other papers that are presented. Second is to identify the discourse that you would like to participate in. Sabi nga, di ba, research writing is an academic conversation. Hence, identify which conversation would you like to be a part of. Is it livelihood? Is it gender? Is it climate change adaptation? Kasi pag na-identify mo yon, it is very easy to, alright, so the finding of this is wrong. My finding is okay. So, it's very easy. But if you are not able to identify the academic discourse that you'd like to participate in, kung saan-saan pupunta yung pagsusulat mo. So avoid dated references unless you are citing seminal papers. And show that you have read a lot by having a good number of references. Let's face it, academic writing is show off. It is show off. You need to show that you know. You need to show that you know. Enhance the presentation of your tables, fix alignment, awkward cuts. Don't be talkative on paper because some are really verbose. And avoid copying and pasting parts of a paper for related studies. Present a well-written literature review. Writing literature review is an art in itself. And usually, ang nakikita kong mali sa mga, not to say mali, hindi maganda, you tend to list, not synthesize. You should synthesize, not list. Because that is also a way of showing off that you know what goes on in the literature. And you need to identify gaps properly, which will serve as a good basis for your theoretical framework. Kasi doon lang din yun ang gagaling. Discuss your results, don't just present them. Compare and contrast with what is in the literature, again with the framework as the point of reference. Ang dami kong nakikitang nagpo-compare and contrast naman, pero parang wala siya sa lugar. Wala siya sa lugar kasi wala siyang framework. Wala siya sa framework. So it's not just a matter of this contrast of finding of what. It's not like that. You need to have a framework. Little conclusions or concluding paragraphs for long sections, it helps much in digesting the content and lessens the cognitive load of the reader. Especially kapag marami na pong graphs and tables na nakakapabigat sa cognitive load ng nagbabasa. And of course, observe the use of gender-sensitive language. We know for a fact that there are female farmers, right? Not just men farmers. May comment nga ako sa isa, kaya sabi niya, women cannot do this and that. Sabi ko, Heidelin Diaz has showed the world that women can. Referencing, ensure proper formatting. Usually, ang una kong tinitingnan sa paper ay methods. Una yung pag mali ang methods, di ko na binabasa yung results. Kasi ang results ay magiging produkto ng methods, right? Pangalawa ay referencing. Kasi that shows the depth of reading and the knowledge kung paano mag-cite. Again, it's another way of showing off. And in-text citation is either chronological or alphabetical. So hindi siya basta-basta nagda-dump ng references. So, yeah, okay? Clearly defined problem statement. Your problem statement must be very clear. Research studies must be properly problematized. At yung mga start the abstract with a clearly defined problem statement, at least for our case in the social ANR. And writing for an international audience, ang dami kong nakita, like hindi naman siguro masamang banggitin. Halimbawa yung crop insurance studies, ang gaganda ng findings, they have good potential to advance the discourse on crop insurance at the global level. Pero yung mga researchers masyadong naging conservative, pinang Benguet lang nila yung coverage ng research by not situating it in the global literature. So you see, na-undermine yung research simply because hindi mo siya properly na-situate sa global literature. When in fact, you can. And what's that? Writing for an international audience, provide context to the data. Example, introduce that should be capital M, Mountain Province, well to strangers to Mountain Province, right? Huwag niyo i-assume na magbabasa lang ng gawa nyo, ay mga taga Benguet lang din. And write something about the development context. That's what makes it social ANR. Ano yung development context? Bakit nagkaganyan yung ano nyo? Ang isa sa nakikita ko dito, yun nga yung sa gender. Kasi medyo troubling yung findings niyo sa gender. In the age of gender equality, you are saying that women cannot and women cannot. You know, a feminist scholar will be very mad of those findings. But sabi ko nga, kung ganun talaga yung findings, then you need to properly explain it. That means, pwede yung sabihin na the gender literature does not apply to our context, if that is indeed the case. Writing the conclusion, yes, summarize a bit, but focus on the so what of your research. Ang mga conclusions po na nabasa ko dun sa karamihan, siguro 7 out of 10 papers, nagsa-summarize lang. So we don't care so much about that. We care so much about the so what. Sa Tagalog, ano ngayon? Ang dami mong nakuha, ano ngayon? Diba? So what? Yung so what ng research. And then the depth. There are a few studies that attempted to cover a lot. Example, multiple commodities in relation to climate change. While they are good, there is a feeling that the depth in investigating the phenomenon in question suffered. So, yung yung aim niyo, yung desire to cover so much, nag-scratch na lang kayo sa surface instead of, digging deep into the bottom of things. And explain your methods well. Usually kasi, actually ito ay commonly committed error sa mga social science papers, yung dinadump yung mga methods, like we use key informant interview, we use FGD, we use in-depth interviews, pero ang resulta kasi nun, yung ambiguity. So, justify the use of methods. Example, why quali, why quanti, mixed. Remember our basics in research, in social science, the ontological and epistemological aspects of research, hindi sila basta-basta pinagsasama. Because there are ontologically incompatible and epistemologically incompatible methods. So, hindi sila basta-basta lang pinagsasama. But if you have to go to mixed method, then you have to do good justification. And if you would have, it would help if you have a data collection matrix, if you are using multiple methods, and list the methods according to objectives. Ito po yun. Halimbawa, Objective 1, explain the level of cohesion in the community. Method, focus group discussion. Insight, anong insight ang makukuha? Usual go-to entities in the community, presence of conflicts, types of social capital that exist. Dito, mapapakita mo na hindi ambiguity na basta ka lang nag-in-depth interview. May purpose kasi kung bakit ka nag-in-depth interview at bakit ka rin nag-FGD. So hindi sila basta gusto mo lang. Ayan. And this is my last slide. I'm quite passionate about this because I'm very happy to have seen a number of research studies na sumubok mag-quali. I've been reviewing research studies for international journals and dito rin sa Pilipinas sa mga katulad ng gantong ang tawag dito in-house review. Wala masyadong quali kasi may primacy of numbers na yung ang the only way to know is the positivist realm, di ba? Yung quantitative. But of course, we disagree. I'm a qualitative researcher. It depends. There are a lot of ways of knowing. That's what we're saying. So there are attempts to use qualitative approach, which is laudable, but please do it properly. Qualitative approach is not just to complement the quantitative approach. It can be a standalone research. Ang dami kong nakita na ginagamit lang yung mga narratives para i-supplement ang quantitative findings. That does not give justice to qualitative research. Ito ay mahabang usapin that dates back to the 1980s. Napatunayan na natin ang ating place under the sun, ang qualitative researchers. We are not anymore dependent on numbers alone. Qualitative approach, I'm not done yet. So qualitative approach, sampling analysis, meron din tayong sampling. Meron tayong sariling sampling, theoretical sampling, opportunistic sampling, all these things. I wanted to see them. How the coding was done is critical in quality research. Measures of that should be reliability and validity employed. Length of interviews, principle of theoretical saturation, it should be there. Meron akong nakita, voluminous, it's a trove of data already. And yet the researchers, parang hindi sila masyadong komportable na ganito kasi maliit pa. No, it's a trove of data already. There's a lot of data. Ito pala. Ito lang. Itong triangulation versus integration. Parati ko nakikita yung triangulation. Actually, nag-advance na po ang methods literature. Pina-frown na pa na ang paggamit ng triangulation. Because usually, they say it is a misnomer in research already. Kasi pag sinabi nilang, usually when researchers say that they have triangulated, ang pinare-refer lang na method ay 2 o 4. Actually, triangle, ilan? 3 siya dapat. Kaya usually, para maiwasan yung pagkakamali, ang mas piniprefer na. So you don't have to take my word for it. You search Guess et al. It's a 2012 book on methods. Ang sinasabi niya, integration of findings. Integration of findings. And of course, nabanggit na ito, ethical clearance and anonymity. You don't have to cite the names of your respondents or research participants in research in the paper. Di ba mayroon tayong pinipirmahan na anonymity clause? Anonymity clause? Kasi we don't care so much who said it. What we care so much, especially if it's a qualitative research, is what they said. And the number of categories, meron dong isang table, 20 categories. I mean, how can you make sense out of that? So, pwede sigurong 5 lang to make it more sensible. So, I will stop there. Thank you very much for having me.
Maraming salamat, sir. Yung parang isang buong semestre pero na-encapsulate sa loob ng 10 minutes. Sisimulan ko siya. If you find it very confusing, you are in the right track. Meaning wala ka pa sa lugar. Kaya find your niche in the academic discourse you would like to participate. Sabi rin ni sir, do not be conservative in the discussion. Lumabas ka. Dig deep in the vast of things. Grabe lalim. Ma'am Cara, kailangan ko ng tulong. I think maganda rin talaga yung integration of findings versus triangulation. Napaisip tuloy ako, nga naman, square naman or rectangle. Bakit kailangan triangle lang? Diba? Sige. Dahil dyan, palakpakan pa uli natin si Sir Jaime Manalo. Maraming salamat po sa isang buong taon. And then let's now proceed with the next evaluator, the second to the last. May I call on from the development category, Ma'am Cristina R. Salvosa, a professor and the Dean of the College of Business Education from the Nueva Vizcaya State University. Ma'am Cristina.
Sabi ni Ma'am kanina, konti lang ha, sabihin mo ha, wag madami ha, sabi niya. Doon po sa mga kasamahan ko sa development category, may I request them to stand para makilala po ng lahat. Si Ma'am, tsaka yung aking namesake, si Ma'am Christina, yung sa likod, o diba, nasa likod siya. So, unang-una, we would like to thanks po the Benguet State University for giving us the opportunity to become part of your agency in-house review today. Thank you so much po. Also, We would like to thank the committees assigned in the annual in-house review for your generosity and kindness. Very friendly po sila in the provision of our program. Matagal na lang naibigay sa amin. Yun ding mga paper presentations na ibigay nila. Doon po sa in-charge ng transport, ng food, ng lodging, and others. Thank you so much po for being generous and being very kind to all of us. Doon po sa aming mga development researchers, meron pong 3 complete at saka 9 na ongoing. Sana po nakinig kayong mabuti dun sa mga previous evaluators kasi po marami kayong matututuhan sa kanila. So, hindi ko na uulitin yung mga binanggit nila kanina. So, we believe that the development projects presented are all timed and significant to the intended clientele. We need this kind of projects to improve the communities we are serving. And we also need these projects to be disseminated kasi kailangan nating i-promote yung mga innovative technologies ng Benguet State University. So, dahil nga po kailangan nating i-disseminate, we have to present these papers in such a way po that it will easily be understood and appealing to the reader, tsaka po sa mga nandun doon sa halimbawa sa regional symposium o kaya halimbawa sa mga conference. Maganda po kasi na pag gumawa tayo ng paper, pag binasa, hindi na uulitin pa para maintindihan. Habang binabasa siya, naiintindihan agad hanggang sa dulo. So, ganun po sana. So, we would like our development researchers to improve and enhance their paper presentations so that mas magiging appealing siya. Mas yung pong title, ano? Sabi kanina ni Ma'am Ruth, ito yung binigay namin sa DOST. So sana po, kahit ito yung sinabi natin sa DOST as a project, anyway, when we are going to present it as a scientific paper in a scientific community, or for example, na symposium, no? Or halimbawa po sa regional symposium ng Cordillera, pwede naman pong baguhin natin yung title. Nandun pa din naman siya but we can make another title. Pwede naman po natin ilagay sa dulo, so sa acknowledgement na itong ating nire-report, yung ating paper is part of the project, no, funded by the DOST or funded by the CHED. And we suggest that you will incorporate our suggestions dun sa mga ongoing dun po sa mga completed researches, so they have to be presented to the regional symposium. So thank you po in behalf of the development category evaluators. Thank you.
Ayan. Thank you very much, Ma'am Salvosa. Ayan. Reminder po habang binabasa po yung ating manuscript, naiintindihan na hanggang dulo. Ayan, no? Okay, let's move on to the last panel of evaluators. From the social non-AANR category, may I call on Sir Lloyd V. Orduña, a retired professor and the Vice President for Administration and Finance of the Pan-Pacific University for his impressions. Palakapan po natin.
Salamat, ako ang last. Actually, I will not also repeat the same comment, but to advise those researchers under sa NAN or everybody siguro sa ongoing research. Now, see to it that your main objective is not only to publish but yung extension. Because if you notice, doon sa dulo, sa mga expected output ninyo, nilagay nyo doon na expected program, policy, and many other things. And when you will be doing your research, kasi ongoing nga, hindi ko alam kung kailan matatapos yan, kasi ongoing nga. Kaya dapat i-monitor ng BSU yon kung kailan yung ongoing. So we expect na for an extension na nilagay nyo doon as an output, please attach kung kailan sabi nyo na policy ang para bang expected output ninyo, gumawa kayo ng draft na policy. Hindi yung ibigay nyo na lang si BSU, bahala na kayo kung gagawa kayo ng policy dyan. Anyway, we have a recommendation. We want a concrete output. Kung sabihin mo naman na extension services, may program ka, gumawa ka ng sample program. Meaning to say, at least yan ang parang basis natin na hindi lang, it will not just end as just to know, yung mag-add ng knowledge, but we go beyond. Now, na-mention sa lahat ng researches natin yung ethics. It so happened that I'm a member of the ethics board sa region sa health. And it so happened na ang ethics kasi does not rest only sa health ethics, mayroon ding environmental ethics, especially those who are coming out with studies sa mga introduction of new variety of plants. Kasi kung minsan, sa pag-introduce natin sa mga ganyan, hindi natin alam na, not knowing, namamatay pala yung mga endemic na species ng Cordilleras. Kaya dapat natignan natin kasi may tinatawag natin na environmental ethics din. Kaya aside from health ethics, marami ding klaseng ganyan. That's why, again, we'll reiterate na on our part na ipadaan nyo lahat yan sa ethics committee ninyo at see to it that you have to cite that in the manuscript na dumaan yan sa ethics board or committee. Because if it is a funded research, hahanapin yung mga ethical consideration. Nagkataon lang na sa group namin, kasama ko dyan si Dr. Palaganas at si Dr. kalimutan ko na. Ma'am Tindaan, si Ma'am Ruth. It so happened that sila ang mga kasama ko dyan. Then we were able to come out with the suggestions sa group, especially non-ANR na research, that when you are dealing with itong mga klaseng research na ito, yung vulnerability kasi ng subjects. Kasi it so happen na more on qualitative ang naisubmit sa amin. That's why it's good in my years of being a perennial evaluator sa BSU, nakikita ko yung transition or yung improvement. Kasi noon, kukunti lang nagre-research. Ngayon, you were able to come out with the group before. Ngayon, yung mga na-train na researchers sa group research na yan, nag-split sila, then they form also a grouping. That's one way, yung mentoring na sinasabi natin, that dapat i-involve ninyo yung iba. And this is a good thing na hindi natin rason ngayon na because of yung pandemic, kaya naging pandemic research sa lahat ng ginawa ninyo. Pero that's not an excuse. Though with all the researches na nabasa namin, you have a long way to go. Basta importante lang is you come out with the quality research and see to it that you have to refer that to an expert before you publish it. Kasi kung minsan, we just come out with presentations, alam naman natin yung mga iba pa nga na nababasa namin is parang oven fresh, ang init-init pa, parang kagagawa lang. That's why you have to come out with some kind of extra effort just to look into that. Because kung minsan may mga missing items sa research ninyo, sa inyo, alam ninyo. Pero paano naman kami na nagbabasa? Kaya dapat nag-clear enough. Maski na too elementary ang paggagawa, basta naintindihan yung end user ng research ninyo. So, I do hope that it will not just end sa university. You have your extension, then of course, come out with production in case that your research will qualify sa technology, then everybody will benefit. So on behalf of our group, so thank you very much for inviting us, Sir President. And of course, kayo mga researchers, maganda yung mga pinakita nyo, padamihin nyo pa yung grupo ninyo and encourage others who are not yet, you don't have the idea of doing research, kaya mentoring yan. So thank you very much for this opportunity.
Maraming salamat po, Sir Orduña. Again, research output should be extended and communicated because a research not communicated is a research not done. Dahil dyan, bukas ang opisina ng Extension Services for any extension proposals. Bukas ang R&E Publication Office for the submission of your scientific paper, dyan si Ma'am Che. At bukas ang Institute of Social Research and Development para sa Informing Policy and Practice Policy Briefer. Marami po kayong pwedeng puntahan para po i-extend yung mga research results natin. Once again, palakpakan po natin ang ating mga evaluators for their impressions. Now, before we move forward for the awarding of certificates and tokens to our evaluators, and thereafter the presentation of the winning papers, may I call on our President, Felipe Salaing Cumila, for the message.
Thank you, Sir Noval. Buti nga at nag-graduate na ako sa pagiging academician. Kaya ang gusto ko ngayon, executive decision. Wala na akong time makipag-academic discussion sa inyo. Kanina parang it reminds me, reverberate about my time at UP NCPAG, kayong mga magagaling na evaluators. I like what you are saying. At least it's a good reminder. So great afternoon to all of you. Thank you, evaluators. Thank you, researchers. You are here because you would like to develop our country. That's the reason why we are here. Otherwise, let's forget all about it. Let's be afraid and hide ourselves at home. But because of this pandemic, we are here. And si Lloyd, kasama ko yan noon pa, nung bata-bata pa kami. Commandant kami noon. Nagkuman-kuman kami sa But he was at UP, and then the last time I heard was he retired as a vice president. Ewan ko kung something on admin ata, and then research, I think. Then si Ma'am Tina, Ma'am Chris. Which one? Chris or Tina? Both, Kasama ko yan sa Association of Schools of Public Administration in the Philippines. Magkasama kami kina Sir Alex, yung si Chair Pupoy. Professor namin silang dalawa . But for whatever engagement they have, we do not mind. Public na yan pero okay lang. I think that what I would like to remind is convert the product of this research to something that transcends for development. After all, this is what we would like to do in life. Without research, how can we progress? When I was at UP in Sipag, the one that I would remember is Finland is the highest in terms of giving budget to R&E or R&D. It's 3% of GDP. Sa atin sa Philippines, only wala pang 1%, 0.22. I do not know if we increase it. And the secret of being a developed country, especially that we are now going towards AI? Artificial, not insemination. Oo, kasi pag insemination, pwede yung mga anak yung there's no sexual activity, di ba? Pwede yun. But that's now the trend. We have to do it because it's now taking our role. So by reason of research, we can come up with something, an innovation, something that would show, especially in our country, that kaya natin also. Even our intellectual state could take whatever challenges we could have. I have taught in several, universities, colleges. I went as far as Visayas to teach there for 26 days. That's why I made a memoir of 26 days in Ibahay. I planted a tree there. That's Aklan State University ngayon. And I realized that, of course, I went to UP. The only difference is, intelligence is there, lahat. Turo ako sa mga undergrad and graduate students. The intelligence, andyan na. Ang difference lang natin sa UP, it's overflowing supply of books, reference. Pero ngayon na naging global because of this, it has equalized. The equilibrium is there. So the fulcrum movement from the pendulumic movement left to right is more or less stable now. Parang pareho na tayo. So let's not make a reason why UP lang ang nauuna. In fact, I am saying, kung may taga-UP dito, I'm saying Benguet State University. I come from BSU, the highest university of the land, higher than the University of the Philippines. Pause mo na muna. Narinig na ni Ma'am Christian, no? Diyan kami nagpipresent tayo ng paper. No? Nabayaran pa naman tayo ng UNDP dyan. No? Sasabihin ko, by geographical elevation, of course. But this time, I'm still going and soaring higher than the UPLB. Why? Because I came now with a statement of National College of Highland Agriculture and Environment. Kasi hindi kaya ng UPLB yung temperate crops. Wala sa kanila, sa atin yan. So dapat lang. Of course, I got this encouragement when President Terso, our colleagues in the SOX, had Batangas State University as a National College of Engineering. Ganon din ang gagawin ko. Now that nauna na yung College of Medicine natin dito, andyan na sa, committee. Nakapasa na sa committee. Tuloy-tuloy na yan. We'll do our best. And that's the same thing I'll be doing also for this National College of Highland Agriculture and Environment. Leaders must be visionary and you have to pursue your dream. Otherwise, you will be left behind. In fact, naging nauna naman ang BSU for lighting the Christmas tree. Okay. So, kung gusto nyo, ewan ko ba, Manding, andito ka ba? Inilaw mo na ba? Ulit. Kasi yan eh. May konting bayad lang naman. Mag-isnak-isnak kayo. May konti yan. Yan. I'd like to be first also in that sense. Sabi, yan ang tinuro ng UP. Be innovative, destroy, create, co-create. Yan yun ang sinasabi. So, ganun yung gagawin ko dito sa university. May 888 pa naman ako. Okay lang yan. Kailangan kasi pag wala yan eh. Those are spices. Huwag kang, do not tremble. Diba? So, that's what I would like to say to thank you because this class of activity we are doing is something that is innovative. Something, pinapakinggan ko yung mga nag-comment. Maganda. It really triggers our mind and our heart. So, by the way, I always say, si President, today he's listening to two ladies in his life. One is Marites and Marigold. That's why to Marites, I say to you, I have a small, short, and shaky. To Marigold, I say, I have a stout, stretching, and standing. Of course, Marites talks about the negative things, false. Marigold talks about positive, victorious, developmental. So I said, I have a small mind and heart to listen to Marites. I have a short time memory to what Marites is telling me. And I have a shaky mind and heart to believe on Marites. But I have a stout mind and heart to believe to Marigold. Positive. I also have a stretching mind and heart to listen more to Marigold. And I also have a standing. That thing you are thinking, which I also think, is also standing now, considering I just had my 61st, Ma'am Christie, this September 30. So nag-61st na ako, standing na. I will stand for the truth, whatever is right, what is pleasing. I stand by you in Plaza Miranda. I will not be shaken by those 888. Ang ginawa pa nga, ginawang anonymous eh. Nagsulat pa sa different members of the board. So sabi ko, okay lang yan. Kailangan yan. It's up to the board to make the judgment. After all, I have good researchers in the university and I have good evaluators who are helping me. So, kayong mga upcoming leaders, I would encourage you, do not be discouraged. Keep on doing research. This is what we do. And I'd like to, by God's grace, increase mo, sana yung budget natin sa research. And I'm glad, my dear colleagues, what you are doing is you are very diligent and intelligent, of course, in getting funding from Picard, among others. I think we are, and thank you, Picard, the OST, by the way, for your much support to us. I think that would be all that I would say. Oh, by the way, at kayong mga babae dito pala, I should always encourage you to keep on encouraging yourselves to exist in this world, because Benguet State University will not have its BSU as an international smart university, engendering the graduates to walk the intergenerational highway without these women who carry us for the last 9 months. Wala na tayo dito lahat. So I always say, kayong mga lalaki, you are nothing without women. Although I say women are also nothing without men. So, so let's be partners together. That's why I always encourage sa university, always wear your middle name. Kasi importante yung mga babae, pag wala sila talaga, wala tayo dito. Of the 500 millions of sperms, only one sperm made it to that dust, to that egg, and form you in your mother's womb, marvelously, fearfully, wonderfully created. The Lord has chosen the womb. Kaya importante yung mga mothers. Of course, I'm saying that kasi pagtatakbo ako, maraming babaeng bubuto sa akin. Okay, so let's always champion also women because they are our partners for development. So I would say, thank you very much. Matagot-tagot ako. God bless BSU and all of the evaluators. Thank you for coming. Thank you. God bless the Philippines.
Thank you so much, our President Felipe Salaing Comila. Maraming salamat po. Now at this juncture, let's now proceed with the awarding of certificates and tokens to our evaluators. Pinagpalit na lang po muna namin, di bali ako naman po may hawak ng mikropono para wala muna umalis kapag na-i-award na, di ba? Ayan, so Kuya Jojo, take it away. Dapat may pasibagabong pa-music. Okay. May I invite at the center stage our President, Felipe Salaing Comila, together with Dr. Johnny G. Dati Sr., the Vice President for Research and Extension, and Dr. Gretchen Gay C. Ablasa, the Director of the Office of Research Services, to award the certificates to our panel of evaluators. And also with Ma'am Ana Cris Elangawan, the Director for the Office of Extension Services, to join us here. Allow me to read the content of our certificate. Republic of the Philippines, Benguet State University, La Trinidad, Benguet presents this certificate of recognition for his or her invaluable service as an evaluator of the research papers under the certain categories during the 2022 annual in-house review with the theme Cherishing the Advancement of Research and Extension Towards SUC Level 5, held at the RNE Building, Benguet State University, La Trinidad, Benguet, on October 5 to 6, 2022. Given this 6th day of October 2022 at Benguet State University, La Trinidad, Benguet. Signed, University President Felipe Sala Incumila. For our first certificate for the category Science and Technology, Agriculture, Aquatic and Natural Resources category, may I call on our evaluator, Sir Dante Medina Aquino. Together with the certificate of recognition is our token of appreciation. These are the BSU products. Same certificate is awarded to Sir Randy Smith Tubal as an evaluator for Science and Technology AANR category. Same certificate of recognition is awarded to Ma'am Janet Saong Luis as an evaluator for S&T AANR category. Same certificate is awarded to Roel Rodriguez Soralta as an evaluator for S&T AANR category. Now may I call on to receive his certificate, Sir Nathaniel Vicente Apelado Lubrica as an evaluator under the Food Industry Engineering and Emerging Technologies category. Same certificate is given to Cristina Reyes Salvosa as an evaluator under the development category. Now may I call on Ma'am Magdalena Tauli Wanawan as an evaluator for the development category. Next, we'll have the same certificate is awarded to Ma'am Christine Baldazan Esnara as an evaluator for development category. Now, under the Social Agriculture, Aquatic, and Natural Resources category, Certificate of Recognition is presented to Ma'am Joanne Liwan Gilao. Same certificate is awarded to Jaime Albarillo Manalo IV as an evaluator for the Social AANR category. Let's move on to the next category under the Social Non-Agriculture, Aquatic, and Natural Resources category. This certificate of recognition is awarded to Ma'am Erlinda Castro Palaganas. May I call on now Sir Lloyd Velasco Orduña. Same certificate is awarded to Ma'am Ruth Molitas Tindaan. Let's proceed with the education category. May I call on Sir Mariano Damasco Marchan Jr. Same certificate is awarded to Sir Rubino Dongpopen Kawi. Next, we'll have Ma'am Felina Panas Espique. And last but not the least, this certificate of recognition is awarded to Ma'am Roda Basco Galanco. Muli po naming tinatawag lahat po ng ating panel of evaluators to please come up front sa ating mumunting stage para po sa photo opportunity habang po nandito po tayong lahat. Prince, paki-arrange na sila. Sige po, you can get your certificates po. Kahit wag na po yung token, opo. sorry. Okay po. Let's take off our mask for a bit para po makita po nila yung ating kagwapuhan at kagandahan. 1, 2, and... Isa pa po. 1, 2, and... One more. Waki. 1, 2, and... Jump shot. 1, 2, and. Okay. Maraming salamat po to our esteemed panel evaluators. We hope to see each other again. Okay, ito na po ang pinakaabang-abang ng lahat, no? May I call on again up front? Sir Felipe Salaing Kumila, carry pa po natin. Sir, dito sa harap, together with Sir Johnny Dati, Ma'am Gretchen Ablaza, and Ma'am Ana Chris, to help us award the certificates of recognition to the winning papers and who will be traveling for the regional symposium in Benguet State University. Nag-expect ako apayaw eh. And together with me is the Director for the Cordillera Regional Apiculture Center, Dr. Kenneth A. Laruan, to present the winning papers. Sir?
Thank you very much, PJ. So ito na po yung pinakahihintay natin, the climax of our activity for this week. It's my pleasure to announce to you the winning papers and regional symposium qualifiers for the 2022 BSU Annual In-House Review of Research, Development and Extension Program, Projects, and Studies. So as we announce the title of the papers, may we request the researchers to kindly move or come forward to receive your certificate. Okay, so here are now the winning papers and regional symposium qualifiers, oral presentation. Allow me to read the content of the certificate. Certificate of Recognition. Republic of the Philippines, Benguet State University, La Trinidad, Benguet, presents the Certificate of Recognition to... Okay, so the first category is the Science and Technology, Agriculture, Aquatic, Natural Resources, or AANR, outside funded. The second place goes to Cynthia Kiswa, Joffer Galian, Jake Galian, Vanessa May Kalingan, and John D. Dolinas Jr. for garnering the second Best Paper Award for the research paper titled Purple Yam, Quality Planting Materials through Aeroponics, with 5 studies during the annual in-house review with the theme Cherishing the Advancement of Research and Extension towards SUC Level 5, held at the RNE Building, Benguet State University, La Trinidad, Benguet on October 5 and 6, 2002. Signed, Felipe Salaing Kumila, University President. The first place goes to Belinda A. Tadawan, Hector Gayumba, the late Hilda Kindara, Esther Butengan, Albert Claudio, Hilda V. Palaes, Danny T. Macyon Jr., and Nina Indongsan Gakki for the study Rediscovery of Underutilized Food Legume Species in Benguet and Mountain Province, Germplasm, Organic-Based Seed Treatments, and Legume-Based Food Products. Science and Technology, Food Industry, Engineering, and Emerging Technologies, outside funded. Second place goes to Rodelisa A. Flores, Florida S. Rosario, Pelin P. Belino, Amelia G. Bawang, Rochelle B. Quintos, Dalifer A. Gano, Maravilla M. Senado. The paper, Development of Full-Fatted Soybean-Based Food Products as Meat Alternatives. Okay. Sorry, it's outside funded. First place, Rosinto Ian Silumbres, Lynn G. Talcasen, Myra Nieves T. Lingaling, Levi Ezequiel O. Daipan, Kinerlin O. A. Gudjo, Imelda L. Jimeno, and Susan D. Balanza. The title, paper, Climate Risk Vulnerability Assessment of Priority Crops in Apayao Province. Next is the Science and Technology, Food and Industry and Engineering and Emerging Technologies, BSU funded. Third place, Leslie Dale G. Umayat, Jeff T. Ben P. Pinosan, and Sheena A. Wasig. The paper, Development of Low Sugar Tomato Lemon Marmalade. Second place, Leslie Dale G. Umayat, Jeff T. Ben P. Pinusan, and Zinia B. Dasilen. The paper, Development of Ready-to-Eat Dehydrated Carrots. And first place, Leslie Dale G. Umayat, Jeff T. Ben P. Pinusan, and Sheena A. Wasig. The title of the paper, Development of Osmo-Dried Ready-to-Eat Tomatoes for Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprises. SNT, Agriculture, Aquatic, and Natural Resources, BSU funded. Second place, Cynthia G. Kiswa, Jeannie B. Balaw, Joffer L. Galian, Nestor E. Pilayen, Joyce K. Mamao, Jake Galian, Jan Dolinas Jr., Gabi K. Dauines, Patricia K. Akyate, and Fiona E. Kadjog. The paper, Development and Piloting of Rapid Multiplication Technique of Ginger and Turmeric. First place, Jerry M. Alfonso. Diversity Assessment and Listing of Birds in Mount Santo Tomas Forest Reserve in Tuba, Benguet, Northern Philippines. Next category, the Social, Agriculture, Aquatic, and Natural Resources, outside funded. Second place, Constantino T. Sudaypan, Paul Joseph A. Noval, Rosinto Ian Silumbres, Jake L. Galian, Leo S. Laruan, Rosini S. Guzman, Antoinette C. Coliwet, Mayan B. Pedro, Angelicas B. Batingal, Jelaya T. Cabintos, the Benguet PLGUs and MLGUs. The paper, Appraising Capabilities and Resources of Benguet Local Government Units, a prelude to the establishment of province-led agriculture and fisheries extension systems. First place, Cheryl C. Launyo, Erlinda Alupias, Kus M. Kilakil, and Marivic C. Apiado. The research paper, Adoption and Impacts of Drip and Sprinkler Irrigation Systems and Other Water-Saving Practices for Highland Horticulture. Social, Non-Agriculture, Aquatic and Natural Resources, BSU funded. The best paper, GGG Banes, Romar K. Farcanao, Venus J. Bawian, and KCO Labon. The research paper, Indigenous Community Strategies in Response to Epidemics and Pandemics, the case of Sadanga Mountain Province. Next category, development outside funded. Second place, Ruth C. Diego, Ana B. Mendoza, Monalis M. Nagrampa. The research paper, TBI Program Management, Networking, and Capability Building. First place, Cynthia Kiswa, Teresita D. Masangkay, Arlen B. Bautista, Gabi K. Dauines, Dalen T. Moldes. The research paper, Impact Evaluation of Dispersed Potato Quality Planting Materials to Farmers Amidst Calamities Pandemic. Education category, BSU funded. Third place, Esper L. Feliciano and Froilan B. Manas. Research paper, CTE Graduates Performance in the Workplace, Employers' Thoughts and Satisfaction. The second place, Cara S. Panolong and Rhonda B. Tulay. Research paper, Relevance of a Language Education Program, a tracer study leading to inputs to curriculum development, pedagogies, and resources. First place, Luisita L. Eli. Research paper, Teaching the Least Mastered Chemistry Concepts through validated 5E instructional modules. May we request Ma'am Janet Lin to receive the certificate? Here are the other regional symposium qualifiers. Poster presentations. Those who have garnered a point of 80 to 84.99. SNT AANR Regional Symposium Qualifier. Study title, Development of NSIC 2019 RC 566 rice variety for cold environment of Cordillera Administrative Region. The next is the physicochemical properties and cup quality of Arabica coffee harvested during different lunar stages. Next is the effect of storage durations on the presence of fungal contaminants and cup quality of roasted Arabica coffee. Next is the growth and yield performance of Pungkan Mandarin as influenced by organic plant supplement through modified fertigation. Next, growth and performance of rabbit fed with Cynodon dactylon, Urucloa mutica, and Checrus purpureus, moron under highland condition. Next is the coconut water as biostimulant for the production of potato seed tubers. And the last one for the category, rates of compost for efficient greenhouse organic vegetable production. For social AANR Regional Symposium Qualifier, the following research, cost-benefit analysis of all-weather dryer as an adaptation technology to climate change for coffee production in Mountain Province. And for the social non-AANR Regional Symposium Qualifier, the research or study, organizational needs assessment of agri-based cooperatives in La Trinidad, Benguet. For the development category, Regional Symposium Qualifier, study, impact of technology interventions in the management of sweet potato fusarium wilt in Bauco Mountain Province. And for the education category, Regional Symposium Qualifier, principal components of students' difficulties in mathematics flexible learning. Okay, that's all. Congratulations to all winners and presenters.
Thank you so much, Sir Kenneth, for the presentation of the winning papers. Pwede na po tayong huminga. Okay, congratulations po to everyone sa mga winning papers for poster and papers. Magkita-kita po tayo. Malayo po lalakbay natin for the regional symposium sa November. Saan po? Sa South Korea, Benguet State University. Okay. Okay. At this juncture, before we close the program, I'd like to recognize everyone who have done their best to help us have a successful in-house review for 2022. I'd like to mention ang mga may pakana ng, ano nga to, Ma'am Laila? Ang mga may pakana ng venue hall and stage preparation, in all fairness, to the Horty team led by Ma'am Laila Ayban, together with Ma'am Teresita Masangkay, Regina Bumaca, Ma'am Orga Clotario, taba ba ako? Okay. Sir Jose Joalan Jr., Remedyo Calayan, Jim Gerson Calatan, Philip Tom Asias, Tember Benwasen, ang leader of the band, Epler Ben, Charlotte Billy, Eddie Roy Barcelona, Social Barcelona, Eden Galingan, Gloria Ann Bolon, Jordan Tomin, Devin Swasing, Clige Ale, Dogyang, Mark Pedro, John Colting, John Dolinas, Hansel Maliare, and Gabi Dawines. Thank you so much for the very impressive social. Parang ngayon lang nakakita. Pagbukas mo ng pagdaan mo ng RNE, hanggang next year na po yan. Oo. And for our moderators, documentors, laptop operators, and coders and timers, I'd like to mention them one by one. Chaired by Sir Kenneth Laruan, co-chaired by Ma'am Janet Limbalagtay. Members are Ate Ami Nguatoy, Roger Gayumba, Amelia Kemyu, Manong Kos Kilakol, Christine Joy Cabansi, John Ray Pelila, Margie Epi, Madeline Talastas, Hazel Kith Dumpayan, Megnon Lapo Tudlong, Eden F. Galingan, Catherine Basalong, Diwa Kingay, Hazenlyn Talbino, nagche-check lang ako na attendance. Mercedes Machas, Raya Ruth Batani, Amira Balang, Aurita Budiki, Christine Sario, Glory Ann Bolon, Sheena Wasig, Zinia Dasilen, Melody Joy Malyari, Manuel Dorado Jr., Clige Ale Dogyang, Livy Ezekiel Daipan, Eddie Boy Barcelona, pareho. Paul Sitaganas, Aldrin Banyaga, Joshua Lloyd Navarro, Francois, social, Francois Bayas, John Thor Gideon, Ambrosio, Gerson Tabon, and Revis Anas. Lahat po na nabanggit ang pangalan, tumayo po tayong lahat para ma-recognize po kayo. Tayo po tayo, tayo po. Tayo, walang dinner ko hindi tatayo. To our operators, Sir Jojo, Aldrin, Gary, and all the rest, maraming salamat po sa mga nagpuyat, nag-ayos. Dito na po natatapos ang inyong kontrata. Char. May renewal. Also, we will be having an R&E night later at sine-check na po ng ating ORS director kung nandyan na po ang pagkain. Galing pong Milas Lechon. Charing. Okay. Stay put habang po nag-aayos po tayo siguro, especially for our evaluators. This night will be for you and to have, a more casual engagement from everyone dahil for sure intellectually draining yung nangyaring evaluation at we really learned a lot from your constructive criticism and your comments. No? Maraming salamat po. Now, to close the program, may I call on Ma'am Ana Chris Langawan, the Director for the Office of Extension Services for the closing remarks.
Thank you, Sir Paul. A pleasant evening to everyone. I am honored to do this task of closing the program for this year's annual in-house review. So, after all that's been said and done since yesterday until this point in time, there is no need to overemphasize. I feel it's needless for me to overemphasize the importance of research, development, and extension in hoisting the university towards level 5 status. So for this evening, I would like to recognize and I would like to congratulate all the presenters, the presenters, research presenters. And of course, appreciation is also due to those who have submitted their proposals and their ongoing researches. May the odds be ever in your favor so that you will sustain your enthusiasm to finish whatever it is that we have started. And let me also utter the words of acknowledgement to people, to all those people who in one way or the other contributed to the realization of the goal of this activity. Although may pa-shout out si Sir Paul kanina, I would like to adopt the Todos los Santos principle of Sir a while back. So all the members of the different committees, including those who are not members but who have voluntarily and willingly extended their time and effort from the preparation down to the last detail of this activity, please know that your efforts are very much appreciated. To the deans and directors, to the deans of the different colleges and directors of the different institute, pagpupugay at pasasalamat din po sa inyong lahat. Personally speaking, it is really humbling to be rubbing elbows with people who amaze me of the intellectual and professional capacities. I wouldn't miss this. I wouldn't miss to say this. Let us put our hats off also to the Director of the Office of Research Services, Dr. Gretchen Gay Capuyan Ablaza, for spearheading this activity. Then we salute the father of the RNE, our VP for Research and Extension, Dr. Johnny Guzman Dati, for always judiciously steering the activities of RNE. We couldn't be more grateful as well to our university president, Dr. Felipe Salaing Comila. Indeed, BSU cares because our president cares for BSU family. We save the best and the deepest appreciation to our esteemed panel of evaluators. Let us give them a round of applause and another round of applause. To our esteemed panel of evaluators, thank you very much. Words are not enough to say thank you for helping our researchers attain quality and standard in their work. Through your feedback and suggestions, we are confident that we will generate new advancement in research and development and extension. And when the time comes that BSU will attain its SUC Level 5 status, know that it's because we owe you a lot for that. So long live researchers of BSU, long live everyone. Have a pleasant evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Ana Cris. Muli, sabi ko na nga ba, hindi pa sumatayo na kaagad si Ma'am Ana eh. Diretso. Ma'am Ana Mendoza. Muli, maraming salamat po. Magkita-kita po tayo sa November during the Regional Symposium sa malayong lugar na Benguet State University. For our dear evaluators, mag-iingat po kayo pa uwi. Pero before that, let's have a dinner po muna. This night will be dedicated for you. May hininda pong jamming si Sir Johnny at si Sir Felipe para po sa inyo. So muli, maraming salamat po to our colleagues in Benguet State University. See you again. Good evening po. Magandang gabi po. Let's just wait for the dinner po.